We're going to add and subtract polynomials here in this video. And if you remember, a polynomial is a term or a sum of terms where our exponents are all whole number values. So things that involve x squareds or y cubes or even xyz terms. Okay. And whole number means positive and not decimals or fractions values. So no x to the 1/2 powers, no 1 over x's. Those are not polynomials. When we're adding and subtracting polynomials, then there's really no new rules here. We just have to be careful with our arithmetic. If I ask you to add 3x squared plus 2x plus 5 to x squared minus 6x minus 1, then what we've learned in all of our classes way back in the very first review chapters and sections, anytime we're combining terms together using addition and subtraction, we can only combine terms that are alike. So x squareds get combined with other x squareds. X terms get combined with other x terms. Constants get combined with other constants. Okay, and we use whatever operator that happens in between them, in this case addition. So when we add 3x squared and 1x squared, we get 4x squared. When we add 2x to negative 6x, it looks like we get negative 4x. And if we add 5 plus negative 1, we get a positive 4. I didn't make them all 4s on purpose when I made this up. The thing that we have to be careful of when we are adding or subtracting polynomials is that we only combine terms together that are like terms. Okay. So just because there are 3 terms in one polynomial, we call it a trinomial, and 3 terms in the other doesn't mean they're all the same. If we look at the x cubed term here and we look all the way across at the other 5 terms, there are no other x cubed terms. So there's nothing that's like it. It gets to just hang out. When we move on to the x squared terms, I do have more than one of those. So if we put negative 2 plus a positive 1, that gives us a negative 1 x squared. Here we have a 6x term that is like the 2x term, and if we add them together, we get 8x. And then we have this constant, this 3 over here, that is just all by himself, just like the x cubed was. So my plus 3 just carries along for the ride like the x cubed did. Okay. Make sure that you're very careful when you're working through these to only combine terms that are alike. See if I can be lazy and do this. Haha. So let's say that instead of doing addition, maybe I'm asked to subtract those 2 polynomials. Now, subtraction of an expression is something that we have to be careful of. Okay, these parentheses mean we are subtracting the entire expression, not just the x squared that's out there in front. So I have to be sure that I distribute that negative sign to all 3 of those terms there. I would recommend either physically writing, many of you will do better if you write negative x squared plus 6x plus 1 on your paper. Okay, if you're a person that just wants to change the signs, that's fine. Don't forget to change this one into a plus, and that becomes minus plus plus. Okay, however you see it best on your paper, but I would recommend physically writing something on your paper so your eyes don't forget to hook it everywhere it belongs. Then 3x squared minus 1x squared is 2x squared. 2x plus 6x is a plus 8x. And 5 plus 1 is a positive 6. The difference of those 2 polynomials, the 2 that are at the very top of the page, that difference is 2x squared plus 8x plus 6. Let's see if I can do the same thing and down here, look at that. Same idea. If I'm subtracting those second two polynomials, I need to make sure that I understand I have a negative x squared there, a negative 2x, and a negative 3. I need to do all three of those things, write them down in some way, shape, or form before I start combining like terms. Okay, remember the x cubed didn't have anything like it. Changing signs doesn't make anything alike. But now I have negative 2x squared minus 1 more, which is negative 3x squared. I have 6x minus 2x, which is a positive 4x. And I have a negative 3 instead of a positive 3 now. When we're adding polynomials or subtracting polynomials, it just comes down to combining like terms. Okay, your author will present, I think in all of the textbooks, them in a different way as well. You can stack them one on top of the other if you prefer. If your eyes work better that way, feel free to do that. If your eyes work better having them all out in a line from left to right like these, feel free to copy them out of the book that way instead of stacking them one on top of the other. Okay, whatever your favorite approach is, where your eyes can organize and see things best, please take that approach. Okay? And please contact me if you have questions about adding or subtracting polynomials.